So there's a study done by Julia C. Prickett, Nalini Neji, and um, others et al. And so this study was done to sort of study what a male trans migrant is, what they need in cases for sort of this social work to make social work better. So that's where I'm getting a lot of these facts about like coping mechanisms and stuff like that. But one thing that they said was that after returning, some of the migrants that they were studying found that their community social networks had diminished deeply because so many of the members of the community were migrating out. And so that the town that they were from no longer felt like this place they remembered. They idealized their old hometown. One of the men who they were researching said, "You come and you no longer are just accustomed to what life is like again." And so there's a scene in the distance between us when Reina returned after like this longing to go back to Iguala, to her home, and she saw for the first time really the problems with her town that she'd never realized before going to America. She saw what she said her father saved her from, and she saw, like, you know, the realities of living with the scorpions, and the train station she used to love had shut down, people had moved away. She was aware of, like, the dirt floors that she would sleep on before, and she said she was lucky to have escaped, is how she put it. And that's something that in this study that I was reading, a lot of the transnational migrants had also felt, was that they no longer had this home that they thought they had. It was something entirely different because they had gained sort of this wider sense of what the world is. Because as kids, they would get taught these glorious stories of what America was or stuff, and then those realities would get shattered once they actually went to America, once they completed this like cycle of migration. And then they missed their homes when they were in America, but then when they went back to their homes, they had gotten accustomed to what life was like in America and were no longer really Mexican fully. They were Mexican American. So the life of a transnational migrant is a life where they live inside of that little hyphen in between Mexican and in between American. And that was a major theme in The Distance Between Us, is the idea of this transnational migrant.